So anyway, thank you very much, Robert. I really appreciate it. For those of you that don't know, Robert is been successful in the industry, and he's coming up really, really fast. And I'm looking forward to working not only more with him, but also working with people just like you. So really quickly, what I want to do is be able to share with you exactly the same thing that was shown to me 27 years ago. Now, the reason I want to share it with you is because here I was just an auto mechanic. And being an auto mechanic, I was told very simply on how to be successful. It's easy. All you got to do is work hard. So how many people probably did the similar thing as me? The first thing that you're told is go to school and get good grades. See, I messed up there. And then what I did is I went to a tech college because my uncle shared with me that if I went out there and took the time to do that, that I would actually get more raises. And I did. I got a whole extra 10 cents an hour for every certification that I had. And I want to just relate to the people out there. Think about this. Do you remember showing up to your very first job? See, when I went to my very first job, I even went a couple of days the night before, and I actually traced my route. You know what I mean? Because I didn't want to be late in any way, shape, or form. Then once I started working there, I was excited. So I actually got there early. I took very, very short breaks, if any, short lunches, and I stayed late. Because I was told all you need to do to be successful in America or anywhere is just work harder than everybody else, and you'll work yourself up this corporate ladder. And then you'll be successful. You'll have homes, you'll have cars, you'll have all this wonderful stuff. So I don't know if you were like me, but no matter how many times I tried to climb the ladder, it seemed to be on the wrong building. And so here I'm out there just doing everything I can, living paycheck to paycheck, always had a little more money left at the end of the month, our month left at the end of the money. And it was just amazing. And so all I'm going to ask you to do here is just open up your mind. It's like a parachute. If you don't open it up, it doesn't work. And so what I want to do is share with you exactly, verbatim, what happened to me. See, I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Anyone been there? And what I did is I got hurt and put on workman's comp. So now all the things that I had were getting taken away after 6 months. And then they found out they needed to do the surgery again. I was only making $900 a month. And here I was, doing everything I could to stay afloat. I actually got a pawn loan on my car. And, the pawn, and I didn't pay payment. So the repo man was looking for the car. And I was getting evicted out of my apartment. And I'm telling you, people get motivated for a couple of reasons, either inspiration or desperation. And I was desperate. And so what I did is I had a friend of mine. His name is Sean. I'll always give him credit. But I actually met him at a barbecue. He was dating my cousin. And he basically called me up Bobby because I was an auto mechanic. And he said, listen, there's this guy. I seen his checks are 62 grand a month. They were attached to the stub. And to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, the first thing I thought is, are you kidding me? No one makes that kind of money. And he says, well, listen, he's actually going to teach people how to be successful. And you want to meet him. You know what I mean? Because he's looking for individuals. I said, man, I'll come pick you up. So I went down there, went into this room, and to show you the kind of attitude I had, and I was also skeptical, I rode a motorcycle every day back and forth to work, had long hair, a mullet. Again, it was in the 80s, and wore a leather jacket, full beard. And I went down there, and I sat in the back row with my arms crossed. And it was amazing because I spun the chair around in front of me, and I threw my legs up on it, and I was like, okay, show me. Prove to me that this will happen. And so what he did is once he came up, the very first thing that he said to me really got me interested. So now I want to share with you again what he shared with me. The first thing that he did, and he said that his mentor gave him this book. It's called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Now, one of the things I didn't even know about this book, but I think it should be taught in school. I think it's one of the very mandatory books that people should have. And I got one of the original kind of copies of the book. It's incredible, Napoleon Hill. And what Napoleon Hill was, is he was hired, listen to this, by the wealthiest person on the planet. Now, if you set this in far with inflation, he still would be the wealthiest person on the planet. His name was Andrew Carnegie. And what he did is he hired this little cub reporter to basically go out there and interview 500 of the wealthiest people on the planet. Now, Woolworth, Ben Franklin, J.C. Penney's, all these people that, presidents, all the successful people all over. And he wanted to find out what their common denominators were. The common denominators. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not a person that likes to read books. But if a guy that makes millions of dollars, which is now a billionaire, tells me to read a book, I'm going to read the book because I want to know what these principles are. So all these people had 3 things in common. Would you like to know what those are? Read the book. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to give them to you right now. So the first thing he shared, and I know a lot of people have seen this out there, but basically there's 2 groups of people. There's the 3%ers and there's the 97%ers. Now, when you first look at this, I want you to understand this principle. A lot of people, this was even studied in universities, I believe Harvard University, but it was like 3% of the people actually employ worldwide the other 97%. Isn't that amazing? 3% of the people actually control the monies, the banks, whatever. Now, a lot of people that are in the 97% want to complain and get mad at the 3%. And in the United States, if you really look at what's happened, now they're saying that this is 99.1%. Yeah, remember quite a few years ago, everyone was mad after 2008, I believe it was. Everything crashed, and now they keep telling us every day that the economy is better. But I think that you know better. Okay. So basically what people do is they complain and they stay in this category instead of trying to figure out what the other 3% are doing. And let me share with you really quickly what that is. So the 3 things is, first, you got what is called OPI. Now, OPI is other people's ideas. Other people's ideas. When you hear about this, it's said in the book that you don't have to be smart to be intelligent. Now, if you're like me, it became my favorite book. Because I always thought that you had to be smart. You had to be smart and you had to work harder than anybody else to make wealth. Not true. When you look at other people's ideas, let me give you a couple of neat examples. I know that you've heard of Henry Ford, the founder of Ford Motor Company. He didn't invent the automobile. Mercedes did. He took that idea in the United States, and if he goes down in anything in history, it's for building the assembly line. Getting a lot of people to work together. At the time, he did another thing that was revolutionary. He paid his workers more than any other company. Everybody wanted to work for him. And so he was able to produce cars very, very quickly. Now, there's a couple of people within the company that were really close to him. And they said, listen, can we come up with some other color than black? And he had this phrase all the time: if it's not broke, don't break it. And so they said, no, everyone's asking if we can get the colors of the flag: red, white, and blue. And Henry Ford said, absolutely not. Do you know those people knew there was such a supply and demand for red, white, and blue cars that they broke away and started a company called General Motors? General Motors. Did they come up with the assembly line or the car? No, they didn't. They found a need and filled it. That's as simple as it is. Another one, Ray Kroc, the founder of McDonald's, did not invent franchising. He didn't invent the hamburger stand. And even more, he didn't invent the name or the process. The McDonald's brothers did in San Bernardino, California. And he was selling milkshake machines. And when he seen how fast these people could serve food by using their techniques, that's where the term fast food came from. And I could go on and on and on. I know that you guys have heard of Google. Google was not the first search engine. It was Netscape Navigator. Do you remember that? And then there was MSN. Yeah, MSN, remember that? Yeah, Lycos. All these other search engines, Yahoo, and then you got Google. Was Facebook by Mark Zuckerberg the first social network? No, MySpace was. So I hope that you understand that if you find someone that's got an incredible idea that has, these 5 principles, they have J. Paul Getty, another multi-billionaire, said this: find a product that everyone needs, that everybody wants, huge difference, price for profit, price for sale, and then also needs to be replaced. If you find a product like that, you will be extremely, extremely successful. So what I want to do now is share the other 2 principles with you. Wow, it's warm in here. The other one is called OPE. other people's efforts. Now, other people's efforts is a really unique concept. I want you to think of every person that you know that's successful. Do they have other people working for them? Yes. What if you have a job? Is it someone started that became an entrepreneur? See, you got to have other people's efforts to get to a place not only of increased wealth, but you also got to get it to get leverage, which actually gives you the most expensive, most important thing in the world, which is time. See, I know that money doesn't buy happiness, but ladies and gentlemen, you need to understand that poverty doesn't buy happiness either. So pick one. So you got to find a system and a model where you can actually help other people become successful. And then guess what? You get a percentage of that. One of the best models of this was basically Remax. Think about it. If I could give you a choice of any of these 5 ones, which one would you want to be? A, there's always a customer that's either buying or selling a home. 2, there's a real estate agent that either bought or sold that home for that client, that customer. Third one is you got a broker. Okay, so a broker actually gets paid off real estate agents. They split the commissions, 3%, 3%. Now that broker can work inside of a Remax franchise. Now there's Remax franchises everywhere, and listen to this point closely. You do not have to be an agent or a real estate person with a license to own a franchise. See, it's a business. So the business has brokers inside of it that have a lot of agents that sell a lot of homes for customers, and they get a percentage off each one. Or the last one, the entrepreneur that came up with the creative idea of Remax. Now, if every one of you could pick any one of those 5, you would definitely pick the person that had all the franchises, with all the brokers, with all the agents, and all the sales. I hope you got that, because that's the position I'm trying to put you in, is in a position where you can actually build a business for yourself. All right. So the next one is basically OPM. Now, OPM is basically based off other people's money or residual income. Now, don't you find it interesting that all the 500 people that were in that book actually borrowed money to start their own business? Now, today, what you could do is there's a number of ways to explain OPM. One of them is basically you can get in a home-based business and you actually can do it on a credit card. Now, what you're doing is using the bank's money or Visa cards, MasterCard's money, American Express, to starting to build your business until you become in profit. So you first start out with an investment, then you break even, then you go into profit. And when you hang around people that are mentors that have already done it with other people that are documented, you can do this too. So those are the 3 principles. Another part of OPM is called residual income. You want to get involved in a business model where once you acquire a customer, you get paid on that customer every single month, month after month, year after year. Now, you got to understand, since I learned this principle 27 years ago, I've built organizations that are over 700,000 people. Now, this is for the smart people that are going to watch this video or that happen to be in the room. What if all my people are lazy? Don't you know a lot of friends and relatives that are lazy? So I have 700,000 people in 11 countries. Let's say that each and every one of them are so lazy, all they do is do just enough effort to make me $1 a year. I would make $700,000 a year without working. That's called true passive residual income. I'm not the only one that's ever thought of it. A lot of people write books, songs, and they get royalties. Jennifer Aniston, one of the actresses on Friends, actually makes $13 million a year, like her other 4 partners. A year, they make $13 million off residual. Now, I didn't know about these principles until I seen my mentor share them with me. So that's why you got to really find a way to get involved in it. So that's basically the concepts behind Think and Grow Rich. Now, another part is basically the concept of marketing. And I want to share that with you. I actually call this Marketing 101. So basically what you do is everybody knows that you have a manufacturer. On the manufacturer side, you also have what is called a national distributor. The national distributor, you have what is called a regional distributor, From the regional distributor, you have the local distributor. And from the local distributor, you have the retailer. And from the retailer, you have the customer. Now, what a lot of people don't realize is that anywhere between 20 to 30% actually goes right here to the manufacturer. Now, they'll do research, development, anything like that they can really do. It could be a product or a service. And isn't this amazing? Regardless if you've ever been to a retail store, you participated. If you bought anything, even from online, you participate on a daily basis in marketing, even buying gasoline. So now watch this. These are all called middlemen. I know that you heard of them. And so you can get 60% or more actually goes to these middlemen people just from passing the product from one person to another. Now watch how significant this is if you turn around and get rid of just a couple of these. Have you ever heard of Walmart? Well, think about that. Walmart basically cut out these two people here, the retail store and the local distributor, and they basically said low savings all the time. Yeah, that might be close, but but their whole concept is, you know, let's buy it. So when they first started out, I don't know if you knew this, but national distributors, retail distributors would never sell to the public. You would walk up to a warehouse and a warehouse says, no, we don't sell to the public. What we basically do is you got to go to a retailer. So they protected themselves. When Walmart started doing this, how he broke the chain is he would walk up to one of these people and say, listen, I want to buy from you. And they say, sorry, we don't do that. And they said, well, listen, he said, I wanted to buy 1 million of them. Now, all of a sudden, this person is their now best friend. So that's what Walmart did. So now what they did is they cut out these middlemen, giving savings to people, and it worked. What about doing this one more time? Have you ever heard of Costco? Would you ever believe that someone would pay a membership? Which, by the way, off the memberships a year, and you can look this up on their website, they make billions of dollars from the membership. Would you ever think that someone would buy a membership card to go and buy in quantity at a warehouse? But now we have what is called online. Do you know that Amazon does $77 billion a year? It's amazing. So the concept is very simply, as we cut out all these middlemen, we got to find a product that has good timing. Remember the 5 things? But we also got to find it in a trend. See, trends come and go. I remember talking to individuals like my father-in-law that's no longer with us. And he said, you know, I'm never, ever, ever going to buy a cell phone. I'm never going to do it. And then you've seen him with a cell phone and you go, what is that? Oh, it's for emergencies. And you see people all the time that just say, you know what? There's no way I'm going to buy that. But it's slow but sure. You know, people said they wouldn't get, you know, a smartphone. They wouldn't get a tablet, an iPad. But guess what? They're getting it. You know, how can you imagine actually having a television without a remote? You know what I mean? It's amazing. But trends happen with or without us. Now, here's something I want you to think about that's very, very important when it comes to trends. I think that every one of you, if I asked you, if I said, listen, do you have a television? Or do you have more than one smart device that accesses the internet? You would say yes. Well, if everyone has 1 or 2 or 3 televisions, if not more, or 1 or 2 or 3 devices that access the internet, why are they still selling them? It's called upgrade. Upgrade. Everybody wants the newest one. I remember when televisions, you know, it'd take 9 people to carry them. Now it's just this little flat screen, you know, wham, you put it on the wall and you put it on a hanger. Trends go there with or without us. Now, most people that watch this video right now, and you're watching this live, you're always buying the trends. What if you could get in front of the trend? See, that's like a freight train moving 90 miles an hour west. If you just get in front of it, you go west. And that's as simple as it is. So people that I've learned from, and what I do is we research manufacturers and products, and we find companies at the perfect time. And when you find companies at the perfect time, you can cut out all these middlemen. take the product directly from the manufacturer to the consumers. And what we do is we put that 60% in our pockets. Now, how many people honestly like the phrase our pockets? I like that better than middleman's profits or their profits. And ladies and gentlemen, when I seen this kind of marketing, it just really excited me. And I'll tell you why. Because it allowed me to buy products and services as wholesale, share that product and service with somebody that it would put them in a better place. And I would get this percentage between that and the product. Now, if it was a service or something that I could get them where they could buy it monthly, then guess what? I'm getting paid every month with that residual for doing one thing one time. Now, it allows me also to work with the OPE, because there are people right now that are going to watch this to say, listen, I'm not only interested in buying things, but I'm interested if you're involved in a trend and you can show me how to make money. I'd be very, very interested in learning how to do this, not only to supplement my income, but replace my income. Okay, this is how I know. When I seen this part, again, by my mentor, that's when I really, really got it. Now, for a lot of you that are watching this right now, you might have been involved in marketing before, or you probably heard about marketing, and you're probably a little skeptical, a little judgmental. Well, let me show you. If any one of you are watching this right now, is there any one of you that has heard about negative things about marketing, home-based businesses, direct sales, online marketing, network marketing? I know you have. And here's why. This works for two reasons. One of the things is everyone knows that there's someone out there that almost knows 100% of the information. Now, from my spiritual beliefs, there's only one person that knows 100%. But I want to really show you the example of this because it really made sense to me on how I could become successful. Now, scientists have already proven that we retain less than 10%. Less than 10% if we don't take notes on something that we hear the first time. So just for this example, let's say that everybody is an Einstein and they pick up 50%. Well, then that person turns around and shares it, and you got 25. Well, shares it again, which you got 12. Share it again, you got 6. And share it again, and you got 3. Do you notice where that 97% comes back? I'll show you, okay? So this person tells this person, and there was a game that we played in school. It's called Whisper Down the Lane. But today, ladies and gentlemen, we call it rumors, okay? You got a rumor. Now, let me share with you really quick what I mean by a rumor. Have you ever heard a rumor about yourself that wasn't true? Of course you have. And then have you heard a rumor about somebody else? Remember I mentioned Jennifer Aniston? Yeah, well, she's going to have a baby all the time, isn't she? Well, she's never had one. So rumors get bad and they keep getting it. Well, what happens is, let's say, for instance, that this person was a professor in college. Now, what does the average professor make in college? I'm going to be gracious here, and I'm going to say $100,000. Is that fair? So if we said $100,000, then if that professor taught a bunch of students and they got out and worked their way up, they would be making 50 grand. And they would be managing and supervising people that make 25,000 a year. And they would be managing and supervising people that make 12,000 a year, which would do 6 and then 3. So if you learn from somebody that made 100,000 and you didn't pick it all up, is it any example that you're right here somewhere? What if you learned directly from someone that made $1 million a year and you only picked up 12%? Now you're making 120,000 a year. I hope that clicked with you guys. So here's the 2 reasons why I know for a fact. First of all, if you've been involved in a number of companies that haven't succeeded, don't get mad at me when I say this, please. Do you know what all those companies had in common? You. So now there's 2 reasons that people don't succeed. And this is if the business, if it went out of business, that's a whole total thing. But the 2 reasons that people fail is, 1, You can look at me and go, Robert, no, I did everything, man. I worked hard. I listened. I did everything they told me to do. I treated it like a full-time job. Well, if that's true, a lot of people, when they get in, they're learning stuff from people that don't know anything. So if you got less than, it's not the 3% that's wrong. I mean, right. It's the 97% of the stuff that's made up. So again, it's like the blind leading the blind in the dark. So here's how we rectify that. The second reason is that people say, well, listen, you know what? I can be honest. I didn't plug in. It was just the wrong timing to me. I didn't seek out a mentor that was documented, and I didn't go directly to somebody that I knew that knew what they're doing. I never went to someone that knew, that had documentation of teaching others how to get a full-time income. So watch what happens. If we put ourselves in a position right here with a training company that not only has documented people that have made millions of dollars, but also have documentation of people that actually have helped other people make millions. Well, this will work for two reasons. It now allows you to go directly to the source. You do not have to rely on the person that showed you this video or brought you to this presentation. You can learn directly from the system that has already been proven for 27 years that teach people exactly step by step, word for word, on how to make over $1 million a year. Does that mean that you'll make $1 million a year? Yes, if you apply yourself, you definitely will, if you follow the proven system. But now this works for another reason, in my opinion, that was most important, and this worked for me. Say you're looking at this and you're just saying, wow, you know, I'm just not, Robert, if you knew me, I'm not that motivated. I'm pretty lazy. I'm a procrastinator. I don't have very good self-esteem or self-confidence. And, you know, I don't have any real people skills. Watch this. If you learn our perfect system, and I mean perfect, if you use it, and you learn the $1 million question, all you say is say, hey, you know, you can do it with chat, you can do it with text, and you say, listen, could you do me a huge personal favor? Do you know of anyone right now that needs to make extra money? And you pause. And then they look at you and go, well, what is this? And you can say, why, are you interested? And they go, well, that depends. I don't know what it is. Can I send you over a link where you can watch a couple of videos? They're very short videos. And based off those videos, I know you'll feel comfortable referring me to someone. See, ladies and gentlemen, what I did is I got excited about the possibilities of making incredible income. And I got really excited, and I talked to everyone I could find. I became very resourceful. I didn't have any money. And what I did is I very simply edified, and you'll learn this in our system, and I put people in the system. So this person took the time to teach those individuals how to go to the top of the compensation plan, and I got paid a percentage based off their value. So in 18 months, I made over $1 million before the age of 30. And I'm not saying that that's me or try to impress you. I'm just saying all I did is get involved in a system that worked. That's all I did. So see, I know this business will work for you, because if you don't have people skills, you'll learn them as you go, but you can earn while you learn. If for some of you people out there that have skills, you got great sales skills, you got great communication skills, learning directly from someone to do the only things that you need to do to actually not only generate income, but generate it fast, but also be in a position where it duplicates. So now you got efforts of other people helping you. And now that's how you get to the top of any marketing plan or any marketing at all. So now with that, that's our training. So basically everyone here is in three positions, all right? 1, 2, or 3. So the first position is you're saying, listen, this is not for me. It's just not the right timing. And I appreciate that. I respect you for saying that. Because if it's not your time, you know you're not excited, or you know your timing's not right, you're not gonna put any effort into it, please get with the person that showed you this video, or get with the person that is here tonight, and very simply say, I'm a 1. But we need your help. We need your help. We know there's people out there that you know that we can help. I hope that you feel like the presentation wasn't any pressure in any way, shape, or form. And we're here to show you step by step, word for word, or help them do it. So please get with the person. They're going to ask you if you're a 1, 2, or a 3. And if you're a 1, please, please, please help us by saying, hey, you need to talk to Tammy. You need to talk to Melody. You need to talk to Scott. Okay? And we'll take care of them. All right? The second group of people are people that say, you know what? I'm the kind of individual that wants to try the product out. Great thought. We want you to try the product out. We want you to believe in the results that it has for you. So get with the person that, tell them you're a 2, and then get the product at wholesale. Get the product at wholesale and try to, start using it. I apologize, didn't mean to use word try. Use it and get that satisfied story. Become a raving fan of the product. And then we can talk about the business, right? The third person is saying, hey, listen, you know what? I see this. It makes sense. I don't know what it is, but something sounded right. Something felt right. Something looked right. This all makes sense to me. And if it makes sense, it makes dollars. So we can show you how to do this. Again, remember, I was an auto mechanic. You don't have to get a lot of people. We get a few people and help those become successful. And then we get a few more based off your documentation. And it just goes crazy. It's awesome. But you're saying, listen, I see this. I want to get started and I'm ready to go. For people that are number 3, again, get with the person and invite you down. Say, listen, I'm a number 3. And then now you've got 2 decisions of what you want to do. Number 3, again, you could start out by saying, listen, I want to get in for free and just start using the system, or I want to start as a pro and start with $99 and get going right away. Now, our goal, again, is to, A, get you break even with 2 stars. And then next thing is get you in profit with your 3rd and start getting you into the matching when you hit diamond. So that's really quickly our presentation here. I want that each and every one of you to know that if not this, then what? If not this, then what? If not now, then when? And if not you, then who? See, the one thing that you gave me here tonight on this presentation is you gave me your time. But I also took something from you that you'll never, ever get back for the rest of your life. You'll never, ever be able again to say to people that I wish I just had a chance. I wish I had a chance to learn from people that are successful, that could teach me the mindset, the skills, the communication skills, that never have to work for anybody again. You'll never be able to say that you didn't have a chance to make a difference, to get involved with a group of people that are going to change the world without a shadow of a doubt. You could just be one of those people that said no to Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook or any one of the other billionaires now that are under the age of 30 that had a great idea and were going to place. So please get with the person. Tell them if you're a 1, 2, or 3. And if a 3, we're looking forward to working with you. Now, I want you to come back tomorrow because what we're going to do tomorrow is we're going to show you a game plan, a steps to success game plan of exactly what to do 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. It's, again, documented. It's worked a lot, and it can help a lot of people. So make sure you get plugged into the training and go through the steps to success, because that's what we use to duplicate everybody. And when everybody starts making money, then guess what? I want you to ask yourself, what would you do with an extra $1,000? What would you do with an extra $5,000? See, money makes people that are already good people, they get to be better by giving to others. So again, I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow on day 20. And I really appreciate you, and never ever forget, if other people did it and I can do it, so can you. So if we did it, so can you. I love you. I hope you appreciated this presentation. Take care and God bless.